What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and of course, I got some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. You know, the Anthony Joshua negotiations between whoever he fights is becoming very contentious, and this has become. And I was going to lay off these subjects for a while because they got so much in the sport of boxing to cover. But this is from popular demand, because I keep getting asked questions about Anthony Joshua and his negotiation offers. And the questions were simple. Do you guys think that Anthony Joshua and his team, do they intentionally lowball fighters to avoid the fights with them? Okay, and that was the question asked. And through the last 6 or 7 months, okay, we have seen offers that from fighters that were in talks of fighting Joshua, less appealing, insulting, undergratifying, a lot of things to that nature, okay? You have fighters like Deontay Wilder, for example. Well, before Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker, Deontay Wilder, and now Dillian White, okay? Start with Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker wanted more money. And, of course, the negotiations didn't go like they thought, but eventually the fight did happen. He got a percentage split, but what he received was more money than he received in his whole career, okay? He lost the fight in a 12-round decision. There were no knockdowns or whatever, A lot of people criticize the referee and how it's fought, but that's how the fight goes on the way the referee pretty much orchestrates it, right? With his authority. But he won a lot of money nonetheless. And I think he made at least 6 or 7 million or something like that, maybe 8 at the most. And that's after the split. And he was the WBO champion. Deontay Wilder, the WBC champion, had few negotiations and, 12.5 to 15 million to whatever. Of course, that wasn't up to par for Deontay, as we all know. He called those slave wages, which I didn't know slaves got paid. But in other words, it was a bad offer. Okay, now you have Dillian White utterly disappointed from the offer that he was, the offer that was presented to him from Team Joshua. So the question is, do these, does these fights get lowballed because they don't want the fight? I don't really think so on certain points. Okay. I think it's all business, honestly. I think that what happens with people when they see Anthony Joshua, let's be real here, guys. We know Anthony Joshua makes a lot of money. We know he's the golden goose. He's the highest paid boxer in boxing today. Not Canelo. It's Anthony Joshua. Okay. People know what that entails. People know what that means. And what it means is, okay, if I have a chance to fight Anthony Joshua, whoever I am, I'm going to ask for the most money possible. And if it's not the most money possible or the type of money that I feel they should pay me, we got a fucking problem. That's a lot of people's mentality when it comes to getting offers from a guy or a team that has that most money or makes that most money. You know what I mean? Sure, he's a unified champion. If there's anyone that could pay that amount of money, it's Anthony Joshua. I get that. I understand. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get paid less money to fight a guy like that gets paid more money. But if the only reason that you're wanting that a huge amount of money, more than what you have made, is because you're fighting someone that makes more money, it's kind of shitty. Because it's like, okay, you know what this guy makes, so to me, it's kind of greedy because it's like, look, that's the golden goose. I want some of your gold. Give me so many carats of your gold because I know you got so much because I know what you made. I know what you're worth. You know what I mean? Not what I'm worth, but I know what you're worth. So these guys are expecting to get paid from Anthony Joshua based upon what he's worth, not what they're worth. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem I have with that. Now, for Dillian White, he got less from the offer is less than the money he got paid for Derek Chisora. That's wrong. I don't know how you look at it. I don't care if he's not a champion. I've touched on that base briefly. I don't care because this guy has shown his worth. This guy has made more money. See, Deontay Wilder hasn't, and I'm going to get to him in a second. But Dillian White has. He's made more money than the offer that they offered him, being the WBC Silver. That's a quarter of what that WBC title fully represents, okay? And there's nowhere around it. They lowballed him. Either they got to come with another offer because they know that's fucked up. You know what I mean? And if not, they need to find someone else to fight. Find some cherry or something because it looks like Jarrell Miller's going to fight someone else this month. Next week, I think. And I don't know if he'll have time to fight Joshua on the 13th because that's January, February, March, April. Maybe. But, he's already said that, hey, I don't want to get a quick, I want a full training camp to fight Anthony Joshua. I want a fair shake, a fair crack at the whip, which is only fair. So, but no, they need to offer Dillian White more money. They do. Because based on how much he got paid, and someone told me, and I forgot the amount of money. I think it was $5 million. I want to say, but nonetheless, they should at least looked at what he had or looked at what he made, and then at least tried to match that, or put more, 2 or 3 million on top of that, 7 or 8 million or something. If it was 5 million, I'm not really sure. Okay, now they're wrong. Deontay Wilder, they were right on the money. I think they gave him what he was worth. I think they gave him more than what he was worth. You know what I mean? But based on the situation, for them two to come together, sure, I think 12.5 was a legitimate amount of money that they offered him. You know what I mean? It's just he took it because, again, like I explained, guys, he was trying to base that on someone else's worth versus his own. Okay? And his own worth wasn't worth much. You know what I mean? And he hasn't won a fight since then, guys. He drawed with a guy. So it does nothing for his profile. It doesn't matter if you were on pay-per-view or not. You still made about $5 or $6 million. That is the most you got paid. So if they were trying to do Dillian White justice by giving him $2 or $3 more million on top of what he made, which would have been about 7 or 8 million, and then they turned around, okay, Deontay, you supposed to, because we don't really know how much they made. So let's say we give you 12 million, that's still enough. But they have offered him $28 million. And that might be what Dillian White saw, well, you were able to give this guy, but this guy's a champion. Okay, he's the heavyweight current WBC champion. So Dillian White can't be too pissed on thinking that he should get what or around or at least half of what Deontay Wilder gets. Even though Dillian White probably sells more tickets and does better in the UK than Deontay does over here. I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying is Deontay Wilder has something that someone else wants. Joshua wants that belt. That's why they were willing to give that, because they know these guys were playing hardball. So if Dillian White wants that, he needs to play hardball. Okay, and we already know what Joshua did make or whatnot. So we've already covered that. So yes and no to answer that question, guys. I feel that Dillian White, they did him shitty. Deontay Wilder, they did him fair. You know what I mean? Or really, they did him decent. And if he would have took the 15 million, that would have been over the amount he's worth. And Parker is still a rich man. Okay, and he's still fighting. So he's profited off that money. And I think he was the smartest one out of the three, honestly, except for Dillian White, because, Dillian White, he needs to not even humble himself. I think he needs to stay in there and ask for more money. If they don't want to give it to him, hey, kick rocks, fight someone else, fight Vlad, make your own legacy. You don't need that guy, and then that would be shitty for Joshua, because if Joshua can't get anyone in the ring, he's going to have some pressure on him. And that's a fact. So, they're going to have to offer Dillian White more money, So, yes and no, and 2 out of 3, so 2 out of the 3 fighters they made negotiations with, they were fair with. Deontay and Joseph, but Dillian, no. But 2 out of 3, like the song says, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Okay. So yes, they do. I think they try to play hardball or whatnot, but to avoid fights, no, I don't think that's the case. With that, I don't think Team Joshua was scared of Dillian White or whatever, you know. But I look at Dillian White as Juan Manuel Marquez of the heavyweight division when it does come to Anthony Joshua, which would be Pacquiao, right? Because he is that guy, he is that star. Dillian White is this guy that he's being overlooked and he's feel disrespected, right? Just like Juan Manuel Marquez did. I think that's a decent analogy. But anyway, so it could be a fight where, some people might be, cautious of. Because you can't take Dillian White lightly. This guy's hungry, especially when a guy that really wants to knock you out, right? So, that's my take on it, guys. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about the question that was asked. Are they lowballing to duck? Are they making legitimate offers? You guys tell me. It's your turn. Of course, please subscribe. Tell me what you think, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.